Hello everybody, my name is Jason Lindsay and welcome to the Wisdom Channel. Here on the Wisdom Channel, I talk about ways to help you improve your discipline, your mindset, your habits, and your skill level in the things that you are doing in your everyday life. If you're looking to improve your performance in your job, your business, school, or your relationships with other people, this is the place for you to be. As a teacher, I have a real passion about sharing this information with other people, so I am so glad that you're joining us today. Let's get started. One of the biggest challenges facing a person as they work towards their goals is procrastination. Have you ever procrastinated when there was something really important to do? I would bet my life that the answer is yes. As the old joke goes, there is no time like the present for postponing what you don't want to do. I used to be the king of procrastination. Why do people procrastinate? Well, according to studies, there are many reasons why people do. I'm going to share with you 8 of them. I'd recommend that you listen through this video the first time and then take notes the second time. There's a lot of great information here and I don't want you to miss a thing. By the way, these reasons aren't in any particular order. Here we go. Number 1, an individual may not have clearly defined goals. If that's the case, they'll be less likely to do what they need to do to accomplish them. One of the most important things that you can do is to have a list of clearly defined goals. Let me give you some tips on that. Your goals must be specific. Simply saying that you want to lose weight is not specific. Instead, say that you want to lose, for example, 40 pounds. Your goal must come with a time frame attached. Instead of saying that you want to lose 40 pounds, as in my previous example, say that you want to lose 40 pounds by December 23rd. Your goals must be achievable. Now, you don't want to make the mistake of thinking small. Sometimes people won't establish a big goal because it doesn't seem achievable. What I would recommend is that you research other people and see if they were able to achieve the goal that you have. If somebody else did it, then you can probably do it too. They once thought that it was physically impossible to run the 4-minute mile. One day in 1954, however, Roger Bannister did it. And since then, 1,400 others have done it also. All because they believe that it could be done. And even if it is something that is so big that nobody's ever done it before, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. Think of Elon Musk and his goal to establish colonies on Mars. Once you do all of these things, then you can put together a game plan to help you reach that goal. Number 2, an individual may only receive the reward that comes from completing a task far into the future. A good example of this is exercising. It is true that if you run those 5 kilometers after supper, you really won't see any results until much later, and only after doing it for a while. What I would recommend here is that you visualize what it would be like when you are fitter than you've been in years. The mind is a powerful tool, so focus on the eventual reward. It may not take you as long as you think. Number 3, an individual may be very optimistic about their ability to complete the task in the future. Now, that might sound a little bit funny because we think optimism is a really good thing. But have you ever assumed that you would have the time to complete that homework assignment in just a couple of hours, so you put it off until 11 p.m. on the night before it was due? It may not have worked out for you, and you probably received a low grade as a result. Make sure that you allow yourself the necessary time to complete your work. A great tool to help you with this is an organizer. This could be an electronic organizer on your cell phone, or you could go old school like me and do it on a paper. Whatever option you choose, make sure you get it into something that's accessible to you at all times. Number 4, an individual may feel very overwhelmed or anxious about the necessary task that needs to be carried out. People often make decisions to avoid discomfort, and so they'll put it off until much later. One of the things that you need to realize, though, is that you must, I repeat, must experience discomfort initially, or you will never be comfortable. Do the things today that others won't, so you can have tomorrow what others don't. Number 5, An individual may be so focused on achieving the perfect circumstances before beginning the task that they never actually get started. It would be kind of like waiting for all the traffic lights to turn green before leaving your driveway. It'll never happen. When is the best time to start something important? Well, yesterday. But the second best time is today. And that's what I hope you'll do. Number 6. An individual may be afraid to fail at the given task. Fear can do some crazy things to people, and it can cripple a person so much that they'll never get started in something important. I used to be a very fearful person, but what I learned over the years is that the word fear is actually an acronym that stands for this: false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. You see, most of what we are actually afraid of never happens. You can probably think of many examples in your own life that will back up that statement. When you were 5 years old and it was your first day of school, were you afraid to go to school because you wouldn't make any friends? Probably. But you did it anyway, because you had no choice, and it wasn't so bad after that, was it? When you were 7 years old and you were learning how to ride your bike, you were probably afraid of the training wheels coming off because you might fall. But eventually you got used to it, and before long you were zooming around the neighborhood. The list goes on and on. Your first day of high school, the time you called up somebody you liked on the phone, that interview you had for a job that you really wanted, you get the point. Most things that you fear do not ever happen. And even if they did, you can get over it. You have before, and you can do it again. The best thing to do when things go wrong is to get right back on the horse immediately. You will be amazed, absolutely amazed at what happens in your life when you start facing your fears. Number 7, an individual may procrastinate simply because they have trouble focusing on the task at hand. Here is a great exercise that you can do. Make sure that you're using your organizer and that you have written down everything that you need to get done. Before you go to sleep at night, review all the things that you did that day and take note of what you will be doing tomorrow. One of the benefits of this is that you empty out your mind. With a clear mind, free of all that clutter, you will sleep better at night and you will get more done. And finally, number 8. An individual may put something off because they just weren't very motivated to complete the task. You've heard it said that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Well, that might be true, but let me add one more thing to that. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, but you can salt the lick. Part of what I want to do for you is to motivate you to take massive action and move towards your goals and dreams. But even I understand that anything I can say to you to motivate you will wear off eventually. Ultimately, you will be responsible to motivate yourself. That is why you need to have a clear list of your goals and decide if they are important enough for you to work towards. There may be other reasons, of course. We've covered 8, but these are just a few of them. And if you're like me, you're probably guilty of most, if not all of them. We've covered a lot of information, so let me quickly summarize the tips I gave you for dealing with procrastination. Develop clear, specific, achievable goals with a time frame attached. Visualize the reward you will receive from completing a task. It will seem not as far off into the future. Get an organizer and, most importantly, use it. You must get out of your comfort zone, at least for a time. The best time to start something new was yesterday, but the second best time is today. FEAR is an acronym which stands for False Evidence Appearing Real. Face your fears, knowing that most of what you fear never happens anyway. Before going to sleep, review what you did that day and look at what you have to do tomorrow. I can help you with tips, strategies, and even motivate you for a time, but ultimately the motivation has to come from within you. Hopefully this information has been of benefit to you. If you have some of your own tips to deal with procrastination, post them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified every time I post a new video. Now start putting these things into action and get going on your goals. I will see you next time. Thank you so much.